in both land, in both land, common holding of hands and the buying of flowers and all those things could be termed as romantic. Now, try that with a Nigerian lady buying her flower. So it will tell you whether a flower or chop. Okay, so it's like most Nigerian ladies, the only language they understand is when they have cash in their hand, when you give them money. So it's something like flower and all those things you term as romantic, the way we see it in the Western world here, doesn't have any meaning to them at all. So that's why I say we should first of all define the concept of romance. And there are some men who see romance by just staying with their wives all day long, romance as in touching and all that, they call that romance. Okay, but I think romance is broader than that. So when we are able to get the concept of what romance really entails, we now see who is at fault. Is it the Nigerian man, or is it the woman who does not appreciate what the Nigerian man terms as his own form of romance? Okay, sometimes you give that overture and they rebuff it. But you think that these are just the things that you do normally to make a woman happy, to make her feel wanted and all that. But she doesn't want all these things until you give her money. Okay. Meanwhile, in other clients, you don't even need to spend shishi. Okay. And then they visit, they calling, they chatting, they smiling and hugging and all that. To them, is romance just absolute. So what is romance to the African man or the African system may not be romantic here, or it is vice versa. So that is why I will not put 100% blame on the people or the men in Africa. And again, when you talk about men in Africa, the social environment are quite different. Okay, they're quite even this idea of helping your wife to wash dishes and do all these other things. When we got it, when some of us got to the Western world, we realized that, look, this is a necessity. It's not something you leave to your woman alone. Because of the necessity of the career we all engage in, we just discovered that it's not possible. So back home there, if you do it and your sister or your auntie or your mother finds you washing dishes or watching the panties of your wife, for instance, imagine what will happen. So we have to put in social consideration as factors that are inhibiting some of those who don't exhibit what we call romance. As for, I think both women and men in Nigeria or Africa have to share the blame. Until we're able to define the concept of what romance is, we now know who is at fault.
Thank you very much, sir. Paul, in the present context of Nigeria economic situation, do you think buying